The enlightenment chases. Royalties of peace. We are still in the storms, back to peace that has no storm, holding on to perfect peace. Today is March 3rd of 2025, the third month of the year. The golden age is here. It is very, very obvious that we are healing our bruises. Therefore, we need not only a relief, but the cure, which has been the cry of our forefathers, especially after World War II, with His Excellency President Roosevelt. Not only working on the end of the war, but also endeavoring to enable a strategy that will keep peace until all has reached enlightenment perfect. This episode with Maris Free Lefin continuing with the present administration of His Excellency President Donald Trump so far has been very intense with solving problems. It is very obvious before there is a problem, the solution has already been achieved. Before we start solving the problem, we must have the end goal. These interventions are not just from nowhere. A plan has been drawn. Not today. From the very first establishment of the nation. If we understand that, then we will know that the Constitution is only a draft, a plan that has been effective. And if it is not worked upon, if it is still the same, then we haven't done work. Because of every plan, there must be changes. And these changes happen within. There are always short-term and long-term goals to be achieved. Therefore, we should already be at the end. The short-term goals should have already been achieved. And now we completing the long-term goals. When we look at the Constitution, being the people of the nation, where the nation is only the upper room of the house, cannot disregard the house. Being only a room in the house cannot separate itself from the house. which is why everything that the United States of America does affects the whole world, and the whole world also are responsible of the United States of America. Why? Because the United States of America is not just a one culture. It's not just of the European, but of the entire world. It is called the multicultural miniature of the world, which is why it has the greatest power that can never be dismantled, yet must be supervised and ensure it is fulfilling the purpose of the world. Those who come to the United States of America, those who call themselves the citizens of the United States of America, are those who have of self-will found themselves of greater mind that can help sustain the world. Some are being appointed, some already know themselves and bring themselves up upon the ladder or up to the hill. Those who go up the hill are those who are appointed or of self are able to appoint self and advance to expect it. And when these advance, everyone gives way because they are of expected. You need not be appointed for you to know that you are worthy. You might have heard these lines. Some were born great, some achieved greatness, some it been trusted upon them. Does not mean that you have nothing and someone gives it to you. It doesn't mean that you don't have clothing and someone gives clothing to you. That's not what it means. It means someone enables you to see the light that you are within. Maybe because of sadness, you cannot perceive the light that you are within. Maybe you are struggling with a roadblock that needs to be dismantled, dissolved, which is why we have school. We go to school of different programs to dismantle the roadblock before us. The things that make you happy. School does not teach you anything new, but satisfies your anxiety, that brings you peace, that you can bring yourself out. Everyone has something to put on the table. But now being on the top does not disregard the foundation. The reason why there's an upper room is because there is a floor level. Without the floor level, there cannot be the upper level. Those at the lower level cannot disregard themselves. The aim is for the whole hill to have light from the top to the base. It's not about leaving the base and everyone at the top. But it is a calling for some to go to the top. And those who go to the top have a reason why. They know themselves. If you go to the top and it doesn't match, this is your place to find your match. And achieve your greatness. Some already know, some have to work it out. The fingers are not the same. And while they're working it out, it is for those who already know to encourage them to reach the wellness. Those who already know are the solution to those who have the problems that need solution. Only an affirmation that none can be lost. We cannot make a simplicity become very complicated. Now we hear over the news the announcement of the Third World War. Someone playing games, they can be Third World War. If we have the Third World War, we are really just ridiculous. Those of the First World War and the Second World War, their hands were pointing at us of having all the facilities and all examples to learn from, and yet still unable to. And those who will be able to will enable a complicated grief unto these of us at this time, not able to even collaborate like equals. Becoming an adult is one with wisdom. We desire integrity, therefore must educate each other to even. What am I trying for us to understand today? After talking about integration, the reason for integration is discrimination. The reason we set apart from each other is because of discrimination when we are together. The need to sit on the corner and reflect on where we are falling short to equalize so we don't have discrimination. The 14th Amendment has been in question since the inauguration of His Excellency President Donald Trump. The confusion of what nationality is, what citizenship is, the need for clarity. And I'm so glad that this is coming up because I have been confused about what it is, knowing all my life that nationality is becoming a citizen of a nation. And everyone wants to be part of a great nation. What is a great nation? The people. It's not about the country, it's about the people. If the people are all gone, the country will be zero. When you're going for a country, it is how great you are. And if you are really great, you will not even see a reason why to join people that are great already, but try to make others great. Or if you're going to join them, is to look for assistance to encourage where you come from to be great. It's not about separating yourself forever from your own origin. The world receiving light. When we look at electricity, how it is spreading all over the world. In the plane, you can see how much light is beneath than it was before. Some parts of the world where there were no lights, the areas having lights, it's amazing how it spreads. But is it that these houses are people that were in darkness now having light, or is it that people are spreading into new places? Is the question. What we are looking for is the houses in darkness receiving light, not new houses going further into places where there were no houses. It is time to renew the homes of those who are frustrated and in the under the poverty line, meaning in need than they expected, which comes with multiplying and having not enough to provide. Discrimination. Talking about discrimination over the news have been a question on DEI. The saying the president enabled executive orders that affects the 14th Amendment, which involves equality and right of citizenship. And also, according to ABC News, it says that DEI roots in 1960, an anti-discriminative legislative movement designed questioning DEI experts and consultants about what DEI is and the initiative behind it. ABC News Inquirement testifies that DEI means diversity, equality, and inclusion, and that its initiative within the federal government, its grantees, and contractors is a program targeting discriminatory policies and practices from within organizations. According to Lady Tina O'Peer, a DEI consultant and professor at Babson College. Very great information. And it says that the initiative involving disability, gender pay inequality, unrepresented demographics, being justified, and enabling discrimination training, anti-discrimination training, enabling anti-discrimination training. The need to resolve discrimination and awareness of discrimination that comes with increase in number. The more we multiply, the more we begin to discriminate. The more members we have, the more we discriminate. Discrimination comes when we start having two, three, four, five. One cannot discriminate itself. Diversity must be resolved. Therefore, DEI is to resolve diversity and bring equality. Equity, diversity, equity. Equity meaning fairness and impartiality. Inclusion, to feel heard and valued. DEI meaning diversity, equity, and inclusion. Fairness and to avoid partiality is the need for equality. It is said this was enabled to give people chances to have jobs, especially those that are disabled, the blacks, those who were unqualified citizens, white, even white women in the early days were involved. And this DEI was very helpful to involve all those of lower representation, to seek equality. Then only the white males were identified citizens. Is this discrimination? There is a reason. We are not just living in this world, there is a mission we are accomplishing. It says that the president has removed DAI, and which means it will affect disabled people from having jobs and affect even women from having their jobs. And according to Sir Roland Martin's unfiltered daily digital show, the case on squatters may rule for an Ohio woman alleging on reverse discrimination. In this case, this lady is removed from her position and replaced by a male. She is a gay woman, according to the explanation that she is a, a lesbian and she was replaced by a gay man, and it was considered discriminative because she was removed in it to her understanding because of her gender misrepresentation to be replaced by another having the same misinterpreted gender being male, affecting DEI. Affecting the DEI engagement. Now the question is this acceptable? What is gender? What is marriage? All of this part of our mission. We are a human race. Does not mean that we disregard male and female, but we must aim for the expected, which is one, gender, human race. We cannot be enabling roadblocks when we're trying to go to the expected. All what the president is doing is trying for us to resolve the tangles that we have made towards reaching the end goal of enlightenment perfect, where there is no division, where there is no male or female, but the mind, perfect peace, our origin of being. And the mind must be a mind of battlefield free. And to resolve these battlefields of the mind, it takes readjusting the way we interpret the Constitution, and which is what I understand His Excellency President Trump is doing, considering how far we have fallen, and we can testify with evidence of how we bring our problems to be solved. Is it about being a gay or a lesbian? Is it about even being married? It's about reaching the end goal, perfect peace. It's about knowledge. It's about equality. And it takes resolving the problem that is in between male and female, which is multiplying. The more women multiply, the more they are less paid. And when we bring up problems like this, expecting DEI to stand for us, cannot stand for us forever, but until we come to our understanding. It is not giving us the opportunity to just keep doing what is not expected. DEI was not meant to turn us away from the goal, reaching the mind battlefield free. Enlightenment chasers, please. It's time for us to really understand what is really playing among us. Knowledge deficit. When we begin to realize how many leaders we have had with knowledge deficit, they have been really hurt, not understanding the DEI, put them in the front line to be victims of war, and they are dying and hurting each other. Those not following DEI, standing only for civil rights, see these of DEI hurting each other. Those of those of civil rights movement against DEI also are experiencing this hurt, though not of first hand, of second hand, is limited, which is why the president is willing for us to cease having this problem by healing this at the front line, so that these of this side should also heal from experiencing leaders failing themselves at the top. We are talking about the United States of America here being the light on the hill. They need to be of expected light and not blinking light. After understanding this case, the Scottish case, one of the speakers of the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show said the DEI was meant to help every race and everyone of lower being to the expected to have a chance to fulfill themselves. It was a support for those who were not able to achieve their expectation through the Civil Rights Act. It was a great initiative of those that were able to enable this for some people to be able to get to work, hoping that they, with time, will realize their purpose and their calling. But it turned out that many were not able to. Instead, were getting hurt, were hurting themselves. Now, many are saying they don't want the DI, they want to stand only for civil rights, especially the blacks. But now, even if we want to stand only for civil rights act, the equality between white and blacks, and not by chance through the DEI, do we really understand what civil right is? What equality are we looking for? The true white is not just the physical body white, but the mind of enlightenment perfect, which demands the ascending, no more descending. We cannot be reaching integrity and enabling one with despair when we understand the human development stages of Sir Erickson, paving to us what it may seem of every culture, our experiences from childhood to adulthood. It's not about keeping a tradition of coming down and going up. The water cycle is not what should continue. It's not a tradition. It's the matter of completing work, not a cycle. I was so glad to come across this beautiful news and expression from the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show and also from the ABC News. Shining light on movements that have been positive but misused. I hope this episode helps us to reflect while walking on our journey to perfect peace, even with the explanation of the war going on between Ukraine and Russia, discrimination between the two, of misunderstanding their purpose of being one. Even if you seek to become separated, it should be for the right reason, to work on yourself and reunite, not to separate to make your own. It happens that Ukraine has all the economic power for the same reason why they will never see a reason why to leave their brother naked. They cannot be on their own for too long. Simplicity that comes to us to understand our purpose of being. We don't separate to fall apart, we separate to recover. I really hope we really try to really understand what is going on so we can encourage healing, not aggressiveness and war against each other. We don't want a third world war. We, the people, should be able to come with the right mind and help our leaders to reach expected recovery for us, uniting of the enlightenment. Perfect. Battlefield free we must be. Peace tills the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace, none left behind. Thank you.